If I watched Weird Science, I probably need to watch this movie called Mannequin. So I know the other Craig on his channel probably wore this t-shirt, but because it was one of those days when I'm just gonna watch a movie and I consider myself lucky to gonna review it because I really want to review this film called Mannequin in 1987, I think it is, or 6 or something like that. I know that people who's a big fan of the 80s films and romance or whatever films know what date it is, but I mean, like, so yeah, it's a weird movie because I feel like this movie is similar to Night at the Museum, even though it should have been called The Night of the Mannequin, because let's be honest, even though The Night at the Museum is a rip-off of this, I think that Night at the Museum was even better than this film, even though I hugely love this movie. Put that in mind. So, you know what I mean, guys? So I do love this movie for watching it the first ever time on ITVX. I've watched other things on ITVX when it comes to movies like this, but similar to this anyway. But I'm like, it's a good movie. But I think I probably would love it more if I haven't watched Night at the Museum. If I watch Night at the Museum and think, oh yay, it's similar to Mannequin, even though Mannequin is actually a rip-off. It's like Weird Science. It's a rip-off before it became a rip-off, or whatever. So I should have been called Night of the Mannequin, not Night at the Museum, or just Mannequin, I don't know. So yeah, I love this movie to pieces. I just think it's not at the right time to probably watch it, because I mean, like, I should have watched first and then watched Night at the Museum, because I watched Night at the Museum to 1, 2, 4, 3, I'm not sure how many movies of Night at the Museum there are, but I watched all the Night at the Museum movies, and let me tell you, I like them all. But then I watched Mannequin, it's like, what's going on? So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. So this guy who works at a clothes shop who got fired, and then he got fired from another job, and 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 at the end of the day, he goes back to the original shop he was going at. And I like it how we saw it every single time in that 80s sort of way, but I mean, like, in the 80s there was lots of movies like this, and I mean, like, I don't know. So yeah, so he gets the same job again, and it gets better while his actual girlfriend, a new girlfriend, not the ex that was going out with him at the time, but now it's, another one, who for some reason is a mannequin for some reason. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you the plot because it is a really good film. If you watch Night at the Museum first, all the movies first, it's kind of disappointing if you haven't, if you're gonna watch this movie, you know what I mean, because it's a similar story. She, for some reason, this mannequin woman, she only has to look around. I can't remember his name, but he has to be with her, and that's how she makes herself alive. But at night, but in the daytime, she stays still like a statue. You know what I mean? She stands still, and then at the end of the movie, no explainment of why this is, but then she goes back to normal forever and ever, and then you hear the soundtrack of the movie. Can't Stop Us Now by Starship. I don't know. So yeah, that's all we got with the movie. I'm not going to tell you the plot really because it's my reaction. I know in this review show, I keep on telling you the plot and everything, and sometimes anyway, but I'm not bothered today. I just want to tell you what's wrong with this movie and what is good about this movie. But I don't know, but I'm just going to say this, I love this movie, but at the same time I kind of No, I'm not sure about this movie because the transitions, every single transition in this movie is like whoop, 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 whoop. It's like the next thing has this sort of weird effect to it, or something like that. I don't know. I do like all the characters, but the thing is, I really, really wanted to watch this movie, and I researched it. Where can I watch it? BBC iPlayer, Netflix, or anything like that. And it's on RTVX, so please watch it right now before it's been taken off, hopefully. And the same when Weird Science came out, the review of it, it was already off on BBC iPlayer. So I don't know, but oh my god, guys, please watch this movie. I think if you haven't seen Night at the Museum, you gotta watch Mannequin first and then watch Night at the Museum, even though Night at the Museum is even better than this one. Because some 80s movies, if you haven't watched the other versions are similar to the other 80s movies, watch the 80s movies first because they're even better for some weird reason than the recent versions. It sounds weird, but when you think about it, it's good. So I keep on saying to the other people who was in the lounge room watching, thinking, this is going to be bad, or is it? I'm not sure. This is going to be good, or is it? I don't know. But I'm like, then nobody ever talked to me about it when they were watching a movie, like normal people do when they watch movies. My family and my friends and whatever you call it, they said nothing. For some weird reason, it's a weird world nowadays, guys. But yeah, I'm the only one who's normal, and I'm one of those people who talk in movies, and the rest of my family and friends kinda not talk to movies. This one isn't, so they're like, whatever, yeah, whatever, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. When I keep on talking about different sort of things for the movie, and what can I say for this review? Nobody told me, so this is why, But yeah, I don't know why. Like, clearly, there's a cult following in every single 80s, 70s, probably 60s romantic movies. There was always going to be a cult following. Even recent romantic movies, there's a cult following now. Back in the olden days, there's no that much cult following with lots of movies, but nowadays in this century and this generation of movies, everybody has a cult following to whatever, and especially to Mannequin, because even though Mannequin is a wee little tiny film that nobody even cares about, I love it, but the actors at the same time I kind of not like it because I watched Night at the Museum when I was a kid, and still now, I still think if I didn't watch all of those movies, I would hugely love this movie. But because I watched all the Night at the Museum movies, I kind of think it's a way probably before it became, I don't know, but I don't know, this is all weird for me, it's not fair. Why am I the only one who's got all weird, have to watch all these weird movies, and they're one of the best movies of all time? For example, like Mannequin is on 90VX, and I should have watched that film first. It's not fair. But anyway, people have different opinions if they like what and whatever it is, and so yeah. I do think we saw this sort of thing before, and the police guard or guy who has the bulldog the boxer dog and the other dog, he has, for some reason, he's from or whatever we call it, the police academy. He's from the police academy, folks. I like it how in one of those movies we have the same sort of character but not the same sort of character. I hate that, especially in one of the best movies of all time, Mannequin. They have these sort of things. I don't know, it's kind of strange. But please watch this movie if you haven't already. If you're not into these movies, maybe I'm asking the wrong person or telling the wrong person what to do. But hey ho. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching this review. It's not the best review, but I'm just going to put it out there. I've watched Mannequin, over and done with, and I don't know what to do next about my opinions for this movie, because I feel like I love this movie, but at the same time I think it's kind of a rip-off before it became a rip-off. I don't know. Especially with Night at the Museum. There's other rip-offs in this movie, but I could say that Weird Science is better than this film, just because. So, yeah, I gave up.